Greetings, everyone. This is Ryuka, who is kind of a bit sick, and you might be able to hear it in my voice. And our co-host is PFA.
Greetings, one and all!
Alright, so...
Today is the final day, and we're going to go and complete the game and save the Mass Effect universe! For, I think, 2 years.
2.5 years, I think. I think we died and then got resurrected 2 years later, and then half a year after that and then a half a year after that we dealt with the Reapers blowing up everything. Either way, cutscene time. Ugh.
Commander? We've got company.
Have the sensors picked us up yet?
The stealth systems are engaged. Unless we get close enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us something closer.
There is nowhere closer. I've looked.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? We'll never get in close enough for a drop.
We have to try.
Find another landing zone.
There is no other landing zone!
The descent angle's too steep.
It's our only option.
It's not an option. It's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker,
I can do it.
gear up and head down to the Mako. Joker, drop us right on top of that bastard.
So, something I noticed Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, time for Joker to prove he's a badass.
Yay. So something I noticed with that cutscene is that Garrus and Rex were not in it, but Tali, Liara, and Kaidan all were. And I think I know why that happened. Because Liara and Tali, you're both guaranteed to have show up there, and whichever the Vermeer survivor people is there is also guaranteed to be there. Rex and Garrus are not guaranteed to be there.
Making them a bit interchangeable. And Vermeer one's interchangeable, so you don't even need to have them do different things, really.
Well, the Vermeer survivor is interchangeable. Rex and Garrus, if we brought Rex with us but didn't do things right and he died on Vermeer and we didn't bother recruiting Garrus, that means that we would only have Liara, Tali, and Kaidan in the party by that point. And I guess to save on making the cutscene harder for themselves, they decided to just have those three and not the other two.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Right. Liara and Rex.
Well, you landed. Well done, Joker.
Yay.
We have to get inside this bunker before Saren finds the conduit. There is no way we're getting past that door with brute force.
Saren found some way to open it. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex.
We will have to find some way to get it up and running again.
Alright, so, welcome to Ilos. This is a Prothean... Oh, whoops. This is a Prothean world. Kind of like Pharos, I guess. But now there's a lot more Geth in it. Oh.
Is this... Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, even though I probably should have. Actually, no, I shouldn't have, because I'm wearing Colossus armor. That should not have happened. But, oh well. Whatever it is, what it is. One moment. I did just get out of bed, so this is usually when the phlegm is at its worst.
Fair.
Alright, so let's try to be a bit more cautious. And by a bit, I mean slightly more cautious, not very much more cautious. Because I still want to get through this relatively quickly.
Hail Mary, let's just hot charge straight in, and then this time the armor will work. I love that you're not even aiming. But who needs to aim when you're basically equipped with a grenade launcher?
I actually want... In Mass Effect Andromeda, you can actually modify your weapons so that way you can turn some of your sniper rifles into basically grenade launchers. I found it to not be all that effective.
In what way? In how much, like, options did it give with the whatchamacallit? Customization.
I mean, to be honest, I was playing on hardcore mode, so that was probably why nothing I was doing was ever effective. It felt like nothing was shredding through enemies at all.
Yeah, that'd probably be the case. On hardcore mode.
So these are Prothean statues, I'm guessing. Kind of look a bit humanoid, if you ask me.
Yeah, they do look awfully weird, don't they?
Yeah, they don't look very Prothean. The head shape is definitely not triangular enough.
There's a lot of time difference between 1 and 3, and wasn't the Prothean DLC as well?
Yeah, Javik was DLC. And the Collectors, which were supposed to be Protheans anyway, as they were stated in Mass Effect 2, didn't show up until Mass Effect 2. And as we say before, Mass Effect's writing just wings things a lot.
At least you can actually see the connection between the Collectors and the final design of Protheans.
Yeah, since Javik has 4 eyes and a triangle-shaped head, just like the Collectors do. That's a problem.
Rex is kind of looking funky with that big blue aura that he had.
He does that sometimes because of his biotic barrier.
Saren's troops must have sealed the doors from here after he went inside. We will have to figure out how to disengage inside that bunker.
Yeah, like, see what the biotic barrier does? Kind of makes you look semi-translucent or transparent randomly like that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, lava.
You have a friend! Oh, goodbye, friend.
Oh, my medicine. I got hit with a sabotage or something. There we go.
What are you gonna do about the Prime? Just shoot him in the leg, apparently.
Come, Saren already has a head start. We have to go find him before he reaches the conduit.
Unless he's already found it, then we're just walking into a trap.
That is a chance we will have to take.
Hold on. Something's happening.
Too late. Unable to... Invading fleets. No escape.
Sounds like some kind of message. But I don't recognize the language.
It is probably in Prothean. This recording must be 50,000 years old. No wonder we cannot understand it.
The message is all broken up, but I recognize some of the words. It's a warning against the Reaper invasion.
Of course. Between the beacons and the cipher, an understanding of the Prothean language would have been transferred into your mind.
Not safe. Seek refuge. Inside the archives.
What's it saying? Can you make out anything useful?
Fought Reapers. The Citadel. Overwhelmed. Only hope. Act of desperation. The conduit. All is lost.
It said something about the conduit, but it's too degraded to help. We should go.
Cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped.
Fun.
So, they brought up the Citadel, but we're not going to question that.
Well, they already assumed that the Citadel is a Prothean creation, don't they?
I guess that is a part of history that they all know, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's
but
what
even
they
still,
all believe to be the case right now.
although they still probably should be questioning what the Citadel has to do with the previous invasion, at least a little bit.
Well, if it's a stronghold and they were invaded and attacked, they can probably assume that the Citadel was attacked as well.
Maybe.
It's very easy to make assumptions in this sort of situation.
I suppose so. Right.
Take the vehicle into the creepy underground bunker.
Good idea. The firepower will come in handy.
I have spent my life studying the Protheans, but I never dreamed I would discover anything was swept up in the moment. I just hope we have the opportunity to study this place in detail after this is done.
I thought Saren would have set some kind of trap or ambush for us. They must have been in too much of a hurry.
Or we just have yet to run into it.
Too bad Liara never gets to actually come back here and do any Prothean research at all anymore after this game is over. A real shame that.
Well, maybe she did in the background and we don't know about it. Then again, this is in the Terminus sector, so it's like hostile pirates and whatnot, isn't it? So it's not exactly a safe place to be, is it?
They look like stasis pods. The Protheans probably tried to keep themselves alive through cryogenic freezing. Something must have gone wrong. This bunker became their tomb. The pods are dead as well as anyone inside.
All of them. There must be hundreds of those pods. What was Saren expecting to find here? There's nothing left but corpses.
Anyways, what did you say again?
Maybe she came back without us knowing in the background of whatever. We were dead for 2 years.
Do you actually think that she did that with how Mass Effect is written?
Well, it's also the factor of, I believe this place is like Terminus space, so it's like pirates and everything. So it's probably a bit dangerous as well, so...
Let's be honest here. First of all, if it didn't happen on screen and no one brings up, it doesn't count. Just like how it doesn't count the headcanon that Liara knows about the Collectors, if it's not brought up, it doesn't count. You know?
Fair.
Because we need to actually see or hear it happen in order for it to feel believable. Just like how her becoming a shady information broker is very hard to believe because we don't see it. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Basically, what I was trying to say before was, too bad Liara became an information broker and completely changed her character and personality to fit whatever the narrative wanted instead of actually being Liara.
Instead of actually being Liara.
Let's be honest here. Liara in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 are so different, they may as well be different characters. They are not the same woman. This is a similar problem that happens in other media and shows, like Rugrats All Grown Up. When the characters change their personality so drastically from one iteration to another, it can raise the question, are these even the same characters that you know from before? Because they don't feel the same anymore. Even though you can justify the differences by saying, well, they had several years to change, it's like, if it didn't happen on screen, we don't care. We want to see that happen so we can understand how it happened. Otherwise, just write a new character. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but if you make a new character, they don't have the connection because they weren't in the previous game, and thus no one will care about them.
Indeed. The familiarity bias is... It's a combination... Hold on, I need to... I'm trying to blow my nose and have this conversation at the exact same time. People hate change, so doing either option pisses people off. You cannot change the character so drastically that they are a different character, because all that does is piss people off who liked the character they were before. And you can't add new characters to replace old ones, because all that does is piss people off too. I don't like that Liara was changed from one character to another in Mass Effect 2. And when I first played Final Fantasy X-2, Pain took forever to get used to, because she wasn't Lulu. There's no winning in this situation.
Exactly.
But between the two, I eventually got over Pain being not Lulu. I never got over Liara.
Yeah, especially so because it's only 2 years, and for a human, you could understand that sort of change possibly happening in 2 years, because humans have much shorter lifespans and thus logically mature a bit quicker. Whereas with Asari and the fact they live, you know, millennia, and thus, because of that, probably mature significantly slower, or change personality-wise significantly slower. It's a lot less believable that they have that drastic a shift in that sort of time frame, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of what my problem with elves have always been, the fact they live so long that they technically shouldn't be alive. And I stand by that. Like, the old age... Like using Dungeons and Dragons for the standard example, because that's just what I know, the elves mature to adulthood at 100 years old. And I always think to myself, there's no way they would be bloody alive. Any species that takes 100 years to reach maturity dies out, because it would get killed too often, because it would get killed quick enough that it couldn't just, you know...
populate properly.
Yeah.
Yep, I see what you mean. I said this before and I'll say it again. Suspension of disbelief is just another word for bullshit tolerance. And I think everyone has different bullshit tolerances. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm willing to suspend disbelief about the elf age thing. And I am willing to suspend disbelief that someone that can live thousands of years can change drastically over the course of just an adventure or two. Just for this, like, I can suspend disbelief for that, but I cannot suspend disbelief that the drastic change happened off screen and we didn't get to see it. All that does is irritate me. You know?
To assume we don't see any form of drastic personality shift at the end of this game, so there's nothing to indicate that she would just have that kind of shift, is there?
Yeah. Like, and Liara stated that she does not like cities. She has always preferred quiet solitude. She's still a dork and nerd about ancient history, to the point that she's forgetting the mission right now. And even in combat, she still has combat one-liners like, kill them all. You know, like everybody else does. So she's not exactly incapable or unwilling to get into a scrap. The thing is that there wasn't any indication of her wanting to switch jobs to one thing or the other, or, more importantly, that she'd actually be good at it, because, good lord, she should not be good at social crap, because she is not good at social crap. We have established that she is terrible at it. You know?
At least to the degree that she needs to be in order to get the current profession.
Yeah.
Shadow broker.
Yeah, like, information broker, you need to be very good at sociality and manipulation. Liara is too paragon for that. She's too honest. Like, she's too... Would it be weird to say that Liara is a wide-eyed idealist?
Not really.
Why would someone like that be your first pick for shady information? Like, she's too honest. She's too nice. She's too quick to see the good in people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any shift that she would have had to have in personality, we would have to have seen how that happened over the course of those 2 years. But we didn't get Liara's magical adventure in the stock market. We never got that.
Magical adventure. adventure in the stock market.
Hey, business is cutthroat, and that's what she's getting into by 2. We didn't get to see how the change happened, so why should we suspend disbelief for it, you know? And I said this before with Rex. Rex became clan leader in Mass Effect 2. And I need to question that, considering he gave up on the Krogan. Was Vermeer just that big of an eye-opener for him that he decided to go forward with that? But then we have to stop and question, well, if his father tried to murder him over this before, why would he think that becoming clan leader would be a good idea, considering that his father's followers would probably still be around and try to murder him in his sleep? Especially since his opinions are that controversial for a family member to try killing him. Why would other people not try to do the same thing?
Yeah, and also, I don't think Rex's clan is like the winning big clan in Mass Effect 1, is it? Urgnot's not that big a thing, and yet in the second game, it's the top-ranking clan or something?
I don't think we really saw very many clans in Mass Effect 1. I think it's mostly just been random mercenaries trying to kill us.
Yeah.
But it definitely still feels off when Rex becomes clan leader, despite the fact that he completely stopped caring about that crap after the failed murder attempt. Like, I seriously think that what should have happened is, in Liara's case, she should have had a completely different character take her position instead of her being the Shadow Broker. That should not have happened. I think Liara should have been, if not a combat character, which she should still have been if she's going to hang around the Normandy, have her be on the ship doing research stuff, because her being the Prothean expert and finding out about the Collector connection to the Protheans could have been interesting. Especially if she's the one that explains the ramifications and tries to dissect and figure out what the Reaper's intentions are with the Protheans and what they might intend to do with the humans, Asari, Turians, etc. next.
Yeah.
And Rex, instead of him becoming clan leader, if he's really inspired by Vermeer to try and fix the situation, but he still wants to be a mercenary doing fun stuff, because let's be honest here, that's another thing about Rex becoming clan leader. He admits that he doesn't want to be clan leader in the first place. He's only doing this to help his people. It's clear he doesn't actually want to do this. Given Rex's personality, would he actually care enough about that to stop being a mercenary? I get the feeling the answer is no. Him being a traveling mercenary, trying to start his own tribe with his own ideals, and telling everyone else to fuck off, sounds more in character for Rex.
Makes more sense, considering he abandoned his original home. Why not just then move on to a new one and make your own?
Yeah.
Then it could have entirely been an entire story plot point about true family is those you make it with, are those you choose them to be, rather than those you're necessarily born with, you know?
Yeah, and that could be an interesting story in its own right. Especially since Rex starts to become friends with these people. They could be his new family, in a way. Especially since the fanbase really likes to headcanon him as the crazy Krogan uncle that no one ever had. Honestly, the Mass Effect fanbase can be a bit too much like the Undertale fanbase, in that they really need to stop headcanoning everything all the time. It gets a little weird. But, aside from that, I think we had a discussion before about Rex's brother Reeve in relation to these discussion topics. And when I brought up the option before, I think you said that because of how Mass Effect 2 and 3 are set up, Reeve is Rex's replacement. Which, yeah, but I also feel like Rex could have been replaced with someone else, and Reeve still could have been an antagonistic force to deal with in a Krogan Civil War setup. Like, instead of Reeve being Rex's replacement, someone else is Rex's replacement, and we still have a Krogan Civil War thing happen. Which, funnily enough, shortly after we had that discussion, I don't remember when we had that discussion, but shortly after we had it, the Mass Effect 5 dropped teasers about a Krogan Civil War thing being in the next game.
Oh, did it? Wow.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. And also, kind of, not sure how I feel about that. I'm not surprised that that a Krogan Civil War is brewing, but at the same time, like, as much as I like the Krogan, we had a lot of exposure for them. Let's give the Turians something to do.
Wait. The fact they've even said that something like that means they've made it canon that the genophage was cured.
I think so.
Which means that the player choices in Mass Effect 3 have become null and void in the first place.
They had to pick some sort of ending in order for 5 to happen, because they decided to not stick with the Andromeda Galaxy or fuck off to a new one. No, we had to go back to Shepard. Great.
So, well, to be fair, you say that like, to be fair, this is BioWare's last chance to make a good game before the company is scrapped, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially considering how bad Dragon Age the Dawn Veil, or whatever,
Veilguard
did, or whatever it was did.
Veilguard.
Yeah, Veilguard. Because of how badly that did, yeah, BioWare has literally got, this is their last chance before EA just axes them.
I mean, isn't it kind of EA's fault that they're in this situation in the first place? Because of their executive meddling?
Maybe, can't... Yeah, it's hard to tell. Probably for the original Mass Effect trilogy, it was their fault on why it ended so badly, but the likes of Veilguard, I don't know, I can't say, because most of the reason it failed completely was because rather than focusing on a good storyline with good characters, they forcibly made it so that the focus point is the agenda rather than, you know, the story. And it's hard to say whether that's because of the executives high up in EA, the people that have wormed their way into BioWare in the first place, or whatever else.
Fair enough. But even still, like, you can see what I mean when I say going back to Shepard, not the best direction. But I guess at this point they have to stoop that low in order to actually survive, I guess. So instead of making an interesting plot, great, we're back to Shepard. Amazing. Either way. I said this before and I'll say it again. Mass Effect the Mass Effect trilogy really needed a remake to iron out a lot of things. And after our discussions, I think you can see why.
What is happening?
Honestly, I don't think they'd have been better off, like, rewriting the original trilogy story to be more cohesive. Would have been a better turn of move.
That's what I meant by a remake of the original trilogy. Just get the writing of the original trilogy, like, make it less awkward and haphazard because of the way that the development panned out across all 3 games. Just iron everything out so that way it works and flows properly. Because as it stands, there's issues.
But you are not machine either. This eventuality was one of many that was anticipated. This is why we sent our warning through the beacons.
Looks like some kind of VI program. Pretty badly damaged.
I do not sense the taint of indoctrination upon any of you. Unlike the other that passed recently, perhaps there is still hope.
This is incredible. An actual Prothean VI, and I can understand it.
I have been monitoring your communications since you arrived at this facility. I have translated my output into a format you will comprehend. My name is Vigil. You are safe here for the moment, but that is likely to change. Soon, nowhere will be safe.
Alright, so it's time for an info dump. Because this is our only chance to talk this thing.
Are you some kind of artificial intelligence program?
I am an advanced non-organic analysis system with personality imprints from Kesad Aishan, Chief Overseer of the Ilos Research Facility.
Why did you bring me here?
You must break a cycle that has continued for millions of years. But to stop it, you must understand, or you will make the same mistakes we did. The Citadel is the heart of your civilization and the seat of government, as it was with us, and as it has been with every civilization that came before us. But the Citadel is a trap. The station is actually an enormous mass relay, one that links to dark space, the empty void beyond the galaxy's horizon. When the Citadel relay is activated, the Reapers will pour through, and all you know will be destroyed.
How do the Reapers survive out in dark space?
We have only theories. The researchers here came to believe the Reapers enter prolonged states of inactivity to conserve energy. This allows them to survive the thousands and thousands of years it takes for organic civilization to rebuild itself. But in this state, they are vulnerable. By retreating beyond the edges of the galaxy, they ensure no one will accidentally discover them. They keep their existence hidden until the Citadel relay is activated.
Man, that could have been an interesting way to handle things. Go and take the fight to them before they reactivate.
How come nobody ever noticed the Citadel was an inactive mass relay?
The Reapers are careful to keep the greatest secrets of the Citadel hidden. That is why they created a species of seemingly benign organic caretakers. The Keepers maintain the station's most basic functions. They enable any species that discovers the Citadel to use it without fully understanding the technology. Reliance on the Keepers ensures no other species will ever discover the Citadel's true nature. Not until the relay is activated and the Reapers invade.
So the Keepers, those things that we've been scanning at the beginning of the game for credits, they are actually an organic race created by the Reapers to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Huh, so I guess the Angara aren't the only organic race that was made by machines.
Are the Keepers organic?
I have kind of thought they were. Didn't they just say that? Hold on.
The Reapers are careful that the Keepers maintain the station's most basic functions. Reliance on the Keepers ensures no other species will ever discover the Citadel. The Reapers are careful to keep the greatest secrets of the Citadel hidden.
Seemingly benign organic caretakers.
Seemingly benign organic caretakers. Reliance on the
Yeah, so I think the Keepers are organic.
will ever discover the Citadel's true nature.
Fair enough
Until
then.
the relay is activated and the Reapers invade.
So, that's interesting. A machine that made an organic. Besides just the remnant. I wonder how many people watching this would even know what the heck we're talking about. Guys, Andromeda wasn't that bad. Or at least, it's not bad now. I don't know how bad it was on release, but it's not bad now.
It's kind of had like a glow up since its release, has it?
Yeah. I mean, you still have some of the awkward dialogue. Foster Addison still says that her face is tired. Which is awkward, but still.
I mean, you can't do much about the dialogue.
Citadel fleet
Yeah.
in a single surprise attack.
That was our fate. Our leaders were dead before we even realized we were under attack. The Reapers seized control of the Citadel, and through it, the mass relays. Communication and transportation across our empire were crippled. Each star system was isolated, cut off from the others. Easy prey for the Reaper fleets. Over the next decades, the Reapers systematically obliterated our people. World by world, system by system, they methodically wiped us out.
The war was lost. If you had surrendered, they might have let you live.
No offer of surrender was ever given. Our enemy had a single goal: the extinction of all advanced organic life. Through the Citadel, the Reapers had access to all our records, maps, census data. Information is power, and they knew everything about us. Their fleets advanced across every settled region of the galaxy. Some worlds were utterly destroyed. Others were conquered, their populations enslaved.
The
These
collectors.
indoctrinated servants became sleeper agents under Reaper control. Taken in as refugees by other Protheans, they betrayed them to the machines.
Never mind, they're talking about something else.
Within a few centuries, the Reapers had killed or enslaved every Prothean in the galaxy. They were relentless, brutal, and absolutely thorough.
I don't understand. Where did the Reapers go after they conquered your people?
Our worlds were stripped bare, harvested by the indoctrinated slaves. Everything of value, all resources, all technology was taken. Certain that all advanced organic life had been extinguished, the Reapers retreated back through the Citadel relay into dark space, sealing it behind them. All evidence of the Reaper invasion had been wiped away. Only their indoctrinated slaves were left behind, abandoned. Mindless husks, no longer capable of independent thought, the indoctrinated soon starved or died of exposure. The genocide of the Protheans was complete.
What do the Reapers get out of this? Why do they keep repeating this pattern of genocide over and over?
You're not gonna like the answer to that.
Alien, unknowable. Perhaps they need slaves or resources. More likely they are driven by motives and goals organic beings cannot hope to comprehend. In the end, what does it matter? Your survival depends on stopping them, not in understanding them.
And then Mass Effect 3 gave us the answer, and it sucked ass.
Wasn't it because of the inevitability of AI will always fight organics or some crap like that?
I don't remember the exact reasoning, but it basically boiled down to, hey, we don't want to kill you with synthetics, so we're gonna kill you with synthetics so you don't get killed by synthetics, or something along that nature. It was some sort of idiotic programming error. If I remember the Leviathan DLC, it was basically, they are actually genuinely badly programmed.
The Leviathans were just idiots that didn't know how to make computers.
I don't remember the exact way it wound up going down, but I definitely remember it was something incredibly stupid.
You said you brought me here for a reason. Tell me what I need to do.
The conduit is the key. Before the Reapers attacked, we Protheans were on the cusp of unlocking the mysteries behind mass relay technology. Ilos was a top-secret facility. Here, researchers worked to create a small-scale version of a mass relay. One that linked directly to the Citadel, the hub of the relay network.
The conduit is not a weapon. It is a backdoor onto the Citadel.
Interesting.
I knew I was gonna say something and I forgot what I was going to say. Crap.
How did you manage to stay hidden?
All official records of our project were destroyed in the initial attack on the Citadel. While the Prothean Empire came crashing down, Ilos was spared. We severed all communication with the outside, and our facility went dark. The personnel retreated underground into these archives. To conserve resources, everyone was put into cryogenic stasis. I was programmed to monitor the facility and wake the staff when the danger had passed. But the genocide of an entire species is a long, slow process. Years passed, decades, centuries. The Reapers persisted, and my energy reserves were dwindling.
You should have fought.
We were a few hundred against a galactic invasion fleet. Our only hope was to remain undetected. I began to disable the life support of non-essential personnel. First support staff, then security. One by one, their pods were shut down to conserve energy. Eventually, only the stasis pods of the top scientists remained active. Even these were in danger of failing when the Reapers finally retreated back through the Citadel relay.
There were hundreds of stasis pods out there. You just shut them down? You killed them?
Okay, now I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say that the Mass Effect 3 should not have explained what the Reaper's motivations were, because when it comes to eldritch horror type of media, you can't explain that. What Vigil just said earlier about the eldritch beings, we cannot know their motivation. That's the best way to handle these things, because the answer is... Because if our minds can comprehend the answer, then you failed.
Yeah, and it's no longer Eldritch, is it?
Yeah. Because this is especially bad with Mass Effect 2, because Mass Effect 2, why are the collectors harvesting all the humans? So they can make a human Reaper. So you're saying that the Reapers are doing this because they need to reproduce. That is the most basic thing. That is the most basic concept a human could get. Reproduction. Like, what? Lame. Like, the more we go through this, I think the more you understand exactly what I mean when I say that Mass Effect 2 and 3 really dropped the ball with the Reapers. Because they are nowhere near as interesting in those games, by comparison to this one.
They're not really even in the second game.
Harbinger is in the second game and he won't shut the hell up about wanting to hurt you. Because he keeps possessing the collector grunts, powering them up, trying to kill you. Whenever you hear, "This hurts you, my attacks will tear you apart," that's Harbinger, that's a Reaper. And he never shuts the hell up.
Harbinger was a Reaper?
Pretty sure Harbinger was a Reaper. Didn't Harbinger show up again towards the tail end of Mass Effect 3? Look it up, make sure. Because I know Sovereign in this game is a Reaper, and they were actually intimidating. Pretty sure Harbinger was a Reaper as well, and not the Collector General. Which, the Collector General, that's a weird topic too. Like, how did the Collector General get that body shape?
Yeah, it is directly a Reaper. It's Harbinger.
Yeah. But you get what I mean. Harbinger in 2 and 3, nowhere near as interesting as Sovereign and the Reapers in this game are.
Harbinger is one of the Reapers who directly leads the attack on Earth during Mass Effect 3. Harbinger appears during the final battle in London and launches a devastating attack on Allied forces attempting to reach the Citadel through the conduit. Using weapons that are considerably faster than other Reapers, it leaves when it appears that Shepard...
Wait, why is there a conduit in London?
I have a clue.
I don't either. I don't remember. I remember that they did teleport to the Citadel at the end of the game. I didn't think about that. Why is there a conduit on Earth? I don't want to think about this right now. Moving on.
During its Shepard Leviathan reveals that Harbinger was the very first Reaper created, and it was formed in the image of the Leviathans. The Catalyst directs the Reapers to harvest the galaxy of advanced life every 50,000 years, and with each harvest ends, are made in Harbinger's image.
So, as we've already established, they're reproducing. Boring.
Well, no, if they're making a new one every 50,000 years, it technically has a little bit more explanation as to why the human Reaper was a thing then. Because they were just making the next Reaper for this particular harvest, you know?
It's still reproduction, basically. It's just making a new thing from existing things. It's not eldritch enough. Just make it incomprehensible, for the love of God. And why the humans specifically? Why the humans specifically? We have Asari here, who are also incredibly powerful biotic people. Humans suck.
The problem is you can't really do Eldritch properly anymore because we have too much understanding of the universe. That is the problem with Lovecraftian horror and Eldritch horror in this modern day and age. Most of it, the entire concept of Eldritch horror is fear of the unknown.
Yes.
But the problem is, most of the unknown is now known, or that we have enough understanding of everything to be able to comprehend the unknown, or we have become so apathetic that we do not care about the unknown.
Okay, the apathy one I definitely buy, but we know enough about Lovecraftian lore. Is that actually a thing that happened? I would have expected some of that stuff would have gone unexplained.
Ironically, Cthulhu is one of the more eldritch things in this day and age, rather than the star beings that have existed in Lovecraft, because ironically, we know more about space than we do about our own ocean on this planet.
Yeah, like, we've had more trips to the moon than the bottom of the ocean.
Exactly.
And if I remember correctly, the deeper down into the ocean you get, the more weird-looking things wind up being.
Well, it depends your definition of weird, because as you get lower down into the ocean, there's a significantly more pressure depth. And thus, when you take creatures from there and bring it up to the surface, you then got the drastic pressure difference, which is what causes a lot of things to change shape. So it depends on whether you mean they look strange when you say them when they're out of water here in pressure 1, or whether they look strange down at the bottom at pressure 200.
I would assume I was talking about pressure 200. Like, I feel like even anglerfish look really creepy.
I suppose.
Or maybe I'm just thinking about the one from Finding Nemo. Either way. But I stick by my statement that Mass Effect 1 is just so much more interesting than 2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But Eldritch just doesn't exist anymore in this day and age.
Chivalry is dead, and also so is Lovecraft, I guess.
I mean, Lovecraft was a scared, racist old man, so it's not surprising that a lot of his stuff involves that fear.
My actions were the result of contingency programming entered on my creation.
Actually, no. He wasn't even that old, actually.
I saved key personnel. When the Reapers retreated, the top researchers were still alive. My actions are the only reason any hope remains. When the researchers woke, they realized the Prothean species was doomed. There were only a dozen individuals left, far too few to sustain a viable population. Yet they vowed to find some way to stop the Reapers from returning. A way to break the cycle forever. And they knew the Keepers were the key.
Anyways, I didn't catch what you said at the beginning of this. What did you say?
I can't remember.
Damn it. Alright.
It's fine. I was speaking over the cutscene. That's my own fault.
Aren't they under the influence of the Reapers?
The Keepers are controlled by the Citadel. Before each invasion, a signal is sent through the station compelling the Keepers to activate the Citadel relay. After decades of feverish study, the scientists discovered a way to alter this signal. Using the conduit, they gained access to the Citadel and made the modifications. This time, when Sovereign sent the signal to the Citadel, the Keepers ignored it. The Reapers are trapped in dark space.
Saren can use the conduit to bypass all the Citadel's external defenses.
Correct. And once inside, he can transfer control of the station to Sovereign. Sovereign will override the Citadel systems and manually open the relay. And the cycle of extinction will begin again.
Is there any way we can stop them?
There's a data file in my console. Take a copy when you go. When you reach the Citadel's master control unit, upload it to the station. It will corrupt the Citadel's security protocols and give you temporary control of the station. It might give you a chance against Sovereign.
Wait, where's the Citadel's master control unit? I've never heard of anything like that.
Through the conduit, follow Saren. He will lead you to your destination.
If the Reapers are trapped in dark space, how did Sovereign get here?
It is logical to assume the Reapers would leave one of their own behind after each extinction. A sentinel to pave the way for their inevitable return. Like those in dark space, Sovereign probably spent most of the last 50,000 years in a state of hibernation. Periodically, it would wake to analyze the situation. Keeping its existence hidden, it would evaluate the state of galactic civilization. And when the time was right, it would signal the Citadel and usher in the next Reaper invasion. But this time the signal failed. The Keepers did not respond. Sovereign's allies were trapped in the void. Alone, it was forced to try and discover what had gone wrong.
Sovereign's the largest ship in the galaxy. Why all this secrecy? Why not just attack the Citadel?
Sovereign is not invincible. Revealing its true nature would have united the forces of every organic species against it. Even a Reaper couldn't survive such odds. But the Reapers are patient. They will not rush into the unknown. Sovereign could have been planning this for centuries, moving deliberately, gathering allies. Slowly, it has assembled the pieces of the puzzle, working through agents to keep itself hidden. Saren is the most visible pawn of the Reapers, but I doubt he was the first. Now Sovereign has grown bold. Whether from confidence or desperation, I cannot say. But it is determined to reopen the portal to dark space.
What happened to the survivors from the Conduit project?
They used the conduit to gain access to the Citadel, but the conduit is only a prototype. The portal only links in one direction, so they were trapped on the station. I do not know what became of them then. It is unlikely they found any food or water on the station. I fear they suffered a slow, grim death.
Why would they have no water or food?
Isn't it a self-sufficient station?
Yeah, exactly.
Their sacrifice was not in vain.
Like, you'd think that they'd have something on the station. Like, even if the Reapers killed all organic life, I doubt that they're going to steal all the Wheaties from the shelves.
All the Wheaties from the shelves.
So when the Reapers created the Citadel, they created the Keepers as well?
A more likely scenario is that the Keepers were one of the early harvested civilizations. Perhaps the very first. Perhaps they responded well to indoctrination, or the Reapers simply bred them to be obedient. In any case, they were left behind to operate and maintain the Citadel. But the Keepers are no longer directly controlled by Sovereign or its ilk. They evolved so that they only respond to the signals emitted by the Citadel itself. When the Protheans altered the Citadel's signals, they broke Sovereign's hold over the Keepers. Now, they are completely harmless.
Sovereign must have realized that organic races were difficult to control.
A likely hypothesis. The Keepers evolved in an unanticipated direction. Non-organic servants like the Geth would be more predictable.
What about the beacon on Eden Prime? And the one on Vermeer? What were they for?
At our apex, the beacons spanned the breadth of our empire. We use them as a single galaxy-wide network to transmit data and communications rapidly from world to world. Virtually all the beacons were destroyed during the invasion, but once the Reapers were gone, the survivors here on Ilos decided to risk sending out a message. We knew it was unlikely there were other survivors, but if there were, we wanted them to know about Ilos. We wanted to give them hope, so a message was sent across the network.
You could have exposed yourself to the Reapers.
In truth, we didn't expect any of the beacons would still function, but we had to try. If there were survivors, we had to reach them. The message was meant for our own people. It was coded so only organic beings could interpret it. We still didn't understand the power of Reaper indoctrination. We never realized it could lead an agent of the machines, like Saren, to this world. But it has also led you here. So perhaps we did not fail after all.
Saren's got enough of a head start. Grab that data file and let's go.
Shepard, are you sure? Who knows how much longer Vigil will be here? Even now the projection is weak. This might be our only chance to speak with it, our only link to the knowledge of the Protheans. It is the opportunity of a lifetime.
It might know something useful.
I will provide whatever information I can. My data banks, however, are limited to information directly related to stopping the Reaper invasion.
I already had all these.
I was gonna say, is there anything left, or?
Got the file. Come on.
Saren has not reached the conduit. Not yet. There is still hope if you hurry.
Alright.
I wish I had more time to study all of this. So much here.
I'm sure you do.
So much to learn. I only hope I have the chance to come back someday.
You won't. I like how you mention wishing for the chance to come back, Liara, but it's never ever mentioned.
All their culture, all their advanced technology, and the Protheans were taken in by the Reapers just as we were. They failed.
I've got no intention of ending up like them.
I never dreamed I would actually find Ilos. I wish I had more time to study all of this.
Is it just me, or are they oddly quiet?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
A lot of people died here long ago. Now it's time for a lot of death to join them. There's something in the air here. Death is on the wind. It's a good place for killing. A lot of people died here long ago.
What is that breathing sound?
I'm not really sure. I don't hear what I'd call a breathing sound, but there's definitely some sort of drum or bass or something in the background.
Yeah. Might be gone now.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's not there anymore. Did the music just die?
A lot of glitchy stuff right now, isn't there?
Indeed. I never had the music cut out here before. This is definitely awkward.
Where's the sound? Where's our sound?
There we go, that fixed it. Alright, let's just stay in the car.
Can't be bothered to get out anymore?
Well, it glitched out when I got out of it.
Ah, not worth the risk.
I mean, I'm already level 50-something. 55. And I'm probably never gonna use the save file afterwards anyway.
But are you max level?
I'm 5 levels away from it, and we are not gonna have enough experience points by the end to get there. Right.
There, the conduit. It's incredible.
We don't have time to admire the view. We have to get through that relay, and these Geth aren't gonna make it easy on us.
I mean, they're not gonna make it hard.
Ooh.
Activate the defenses. Seal the station. The arms aren't moving. Systems not responding. Abandon the Citadel. Evacuate the Council. Citadel Control. Citadel Control. Do you copy?
That's cool. Just like the Geth moment, showing like the agents inside.
Yeah. Into the conduit we go. Now remember that statue that Caden said made his teeth tingle all the way at the beginning of the game?
Yeah.
Critical failures detected across all monitored systems. Please begin emergency
First of all, foreshadowing. It's kind of important. Secondly, Garrus, you can fix that later.
Okay, so, a quick moment about why Shepard should be dead right this second.
Yeah.
Okay, so from my understanding about what I've read about what the mass relays actually are and what they do, what happens is basically so that in order to allow the quick space-time travel, they make it so that the weight of an object is basically reduced to like infinitesimally small, so it can move practically at light speed.
Yeah. So he would weigh them as much as an ant, despite being ridiculously big by comparison to how his weight should be, correct?
Exactly. My question, is the Mako pressurized?
begin emergency evacuation.
I would assume it has some sort of pressurization or something, because it does keep you out of the harmful conditions of the outside. Like, you know how sometimes there's that meter at the bottom left or bottom right, wherever, that says that you're in hazardous conditions on certain planets?
Okay. Is it capable of withstanding atmospheric entry and exit?
I'm not so sure about that one. I'm assuming probably not atmospheric entry or anything like that, because Joker does have to get close enough to drop us in.
That's one of those funny little details about why we should be dead right this second, you know?
Yep, but we're the main characters, so we get immunity to that stuff.
And probably they hadn't properly, written out the rules about mass relays either yet, working on the basis of, oh, sci-fi. Sci-fi needs light travel, otherwise it's too much.
Yeah.
There's not enough space, you know?
Yeah.
Did that bastard just shoot a poor innocent keeper?
I think he shot 2 poor innocent keepers.
The Citadel's closing. They're sealing the station. Don't let the enemy ships inside the arms.
Okay, I have respect for you, Sovereign. Full respect for you. I love any sort of airship battle where you can just play the game of ramming speed. Love it.
Now they played Grand Theft Auto, and they just ran through another car. Or something like that. I know there's a joke here.
Saren's locked the elevator. Suit up. We're going outside.
I think that's the only cutscene where the animations don't transfer over quite right. Alright, so we're at the final stretch before the final fight with Saren. We just need to get through a bunch of Citadel. Now, because this is a no-gravity zone, that means that enemies are even more susceptible to going flying than usual.
Why is it no gravity?
Well, actually, how does the artificial gravity in the Citadel work?
It's either by unexplained, whatchamacallit, or centrifugal force. And do you understand how I mean by centrifugal force?
I do not actually know what that means.
Basically, you know, when you spin an object round and round, there's like a force acting out on it, to making it push itself outwards to go faster.
Kind of like how the Earth spins? Or am I thinking wrong?
Not quite. Okay, Okay, so you know, if in a car you take a hard turn, you feel the force pushing you outwards towards the edge of that turn.
Yeah, so if you turn left, you feel like you're going to the right. Correct?
Exactly. That's centrifugal force. So with the Citadel, like, basically turning around, kind of like doing complete 360s all around itself. Like, if you look up, for instance, that area, and it's constantly, like, moving all... Yeah, you see the background there? You got, like, the bit moving around and around.
Yeah, I see some bits moving around.
Yeah, that would be the idea of that's moving at such a speed that it's creating gravity to allowing you to stay on the floor.
Alright, that makes sense, I guess.
You know what I really like about doing these with you?
You get to talk about science?
Yeah! I get a chance to show off the fact I am actually smart and I know at least partially what I'm talking about. Like, granted, I'm not a scientist or anything, and thus I can't, like, say I'm a completely reputable source on these sorts of factors, but I can at least have a nice basic understanding to allow people to then, like, look deeper into it if they wish to understand it further, you know?
Yeah. As you can see, biotics are kind of busted at the moment. I mean, they were always busted throughout the entire game, but they got even worse because of the anti-gravity.
Look, doesn't matter what universe or what game or whatever you're playing, the fucking magic is always going to be overpowered.
Yeah.
And that's all that biotics are. They're space magic.
Yep. Especially the further in that we get. They become even more like space magic. No, I never actually went this way whenever I play through this game. I usually go the other way. Oops. Oh, Liara's dead.
What are we gonna do with you, Liara? Other than wonder how the hell you became a shadow broker.
Yeah, still questioning that. Like, I can't even tell if that was a thing people even liked about Liara. What, like, did people like it when she became the Shadow Broker? I certainly didn't. Like, did people think that that made her cool? Did they already think she wasn't cool? Like, what am I missing here?
It's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I never understood people's weird obsessions with coolness and sex appeal. Like, why do people think that cool? Why are people so obsessed with being cool? You know what I mean?
In which way?
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, with video games, the two things that you see come up most commonly when it comes to character designs or personalities is what makes this character, how do we make this character cool? It's like, well, how about we don't focus on coolness factor and instead actually make interesting people?
Okay, so I think that's the thing that they kind of like they kind of like try to do a mix of both a lot of the time.
Hmm. Trying to think of how to explain this. I think when it came to the 2000s specifically, things just got really, really edgy more and more over time for some reason. Like, we all know Jack 2 happened, for example, and it never really... Jak and Daxter never recovered from its emo phase. I hate saying that, but I'm not wrong.
Okay, so for Jak and Daxter, I could believe they did it solely to try and separate themselves from like the likes of Ratchet and Clank.
If anything, that just made it more like Ratchet and Clank, because it became a platformer with guns just like Ratchet and Clank.
Or maybe they did it to become more appealing to Ratchet and Clank. I'm not sure which of the two was more popular when they first came out, Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank.
I think between the two, Ratchet and Clank was always the more popular one.
Which would explain why they would try and make Jak and Daxter in such a way that it kind of imitates a bit of Ratchet and Clank to try and appeal to the same crowd.
I feel like my brain is scattered. I feel like I know I have some point, and I feel like I'm just not saying it in a way that makes sense. Like, my brain knows I'm onto something, and it's not coming out or interpreting itself correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not gonna lie, considering I've never seen the Citadel in this state of, you know, like, the giant, whatchamacallit, like, destruction, it's very cool to see it like this.
Yeah. And when we talked with Ashley before about how these, all the architecture here would make for great defensive positions, that's what I like to call more foreshadowing. Thanks, Ashley and Caden. Too bad you both don't live long enough to make out with each other. Like, I'm not sure if I said this before, but if these two would have survived, I would have wanted the two to hook up. They work so well together. Too bad that they don't both make it. You know?
Yeah.
Like Ashley even winds up giving Caden the nickname of LT instead of calling him Lieutenant. She calls him LT. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's some chemistry there.
I mean, LT probably is just as much a military thing.
Possibly, but knowing Ashley and the fact that everyone else calls him Lieutenant Alenko.
It's kind of like a call sign nickname. It's one of those signs of playing respect, I suppose.
Hmm. Either way, you ready for the final boss?
Hello, Sovereign.
Make it in time, Shepard.
You mean Saren?
Yes, Saren, sorry.
In time for what?
The final confrontation. I think we both expected it would end like this. You've lost. You know that, don't you? In a few minutes, Sovereign will have full control of all the Citadel systems. The relay will open. The Reapers will return.
I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
You survived our encounter on Vermeer, but I've changed since then. Improved. Sovereign has upgraded me.
let
You are looking a little
Solomon
more blue.
blame you? Are
Yeah.
you insane?
I suppose I should thank you, Shepard. After Vermeer, I couldn't stop thinking about what you said. About Sovereign manipulating me. About indoctrination. The doubts began to eat away at me. Sovereign sensed my hesitation. I was implanted to strengthen my resolve. Now my doubts are gone. I believe in Sovereign completely. I understand the Reapers need organics. Join us, and Sovereign will find a place for you, too.
Sovereign's controlling you through your implants. Don't you see that?
The relationship is symbiotic. Organic and machine intertwined. A union of flesh and steel. The strengths of both, the weaknesses of neither. I am a vision of the future, Shepard. The evolution of all organic life. This is our destiny. Join Sovereign and experience a true rebirth.
Sovereign hasn't won yet. I can stop it from taking control of the station. Step aside and the invasion will never happen.
We can't stop it. Not forever. You saw the visions. You saw what happened to the Protheans. The Reapers are too powerful.
Alright, so I have never actually faced the first fight, the first phase of this fight. Should I do that first, before we Paragon our way past it, and then reload a save?
I was gonna say, I know you can end the first phase of the fight through the Paragon options, so...
I have never...
You know what? Do you want to experience the fight?
I actually would like to do that at some point. Let's do... This will be my first time.
I'm done arguing with you. Let's end this.
You should have joined Sovereign when you had the chance.
Alright, let's actually deal with this time for once. Oh my god, is he almost dead? Is he
I
almost...
was gonna say, just instantly blast through his shields.
Oh, this is awkward.
Get off your hoverboard!
I need to wait for this stupid thing to stop. Come on. Come on, I want my gun to stop overheating. Did I get him?
Maybe.
Got him.
Good shot!
Oh wow, he gets impaled. I think it's safe to say I never saw him actually get impaled like that before.
Oh.
Now where's the body? I just don't even see it down there. Wonder if the cutscene slightly changes. Oh well, whatever. I'm loading up the save.
Hold on. You can reload the save once you get to the second phase, because you never know, as you say, it might be different. Let's see if we can find it. It might be down there, perhaps? Or...
Alright, I know what we can do. Let's go through the ending twice and see what the differences are.
Vigil's data file worked. I've got control of all systems.
Quick, open the station's arms. Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down before he regains control of the station.
See if you can open a communications channel.
The Destiny Ascension. Main drives offline. Kinetic barriers down 40%. The Council is on board. I repeat, the Council is on board.
Normandy to the Citadel. Normandy to the Citadel. Please tell me that's you, Commander.
I'm here, Joker.
We caught that distress call, Commander. I'm sitting here in the Endura sector with the entire Arcturus fleet. We can save the Ascension. Just unlock the relays around the Citadel and we'll send the cavalry in.
You'd sacrifice human lives to save the Council? What have they ever done for your kind?
This is bigger than humanity. Sovereign is a threat to every organic species in the galaxy.
That's why you can't throw away reinforcements trying to save the Council. Hold them back until the Citadel arms open up and the human fleet can go after Sovereign.
What's the order, Commander? Come in now to save the Ascension, or hold back?
Wait until those arms open, Joker. We need all our ships focusing on Sovereign, even if it means sacrificing the Council.
I was about to say, which option do you normally go for with this?
I usually save the Council.
All Alliance ships, hold formation. Wait for a shot at Sovereign. Nothing else matters. I repeat, nothing else matters.
Commander, we're picking up reinforcements. It's the Alliance. Open a comm channel. This is the Ascension. We're taking heavy damage. Guardian defenses are over. Kinetic barriers are offline.
Commander, they closed the channel.
Do you actually know the impact this has on the game, in like on the war assets in Mass Effect 3?
I hear that you get more if you choose to kill them off, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, if you save the Ascension, you actually end up with less war assets.
Yeah.
But you do see the big Ascension ship during the final cutscene or the confrontation on Earth. If you save them. I agree with you, Rex. Double tap.
He's dead.
Does that normally happen in the old Paragon version? You know, I won't ask. Well, I'll get to see it later.
It does look like a Turian husk. That's actually the final boss.
And this station is mine.
Why do we never see things like this in the later games? Turian husk.
I guess because the other games don't want to be fun. Who knows?
I bet that he's feeling like, stop bullying me! Let me do something! I don't like being lifted up in the air!
Sovereign's too strong. We have to pull back. Negative. This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
Alright, where are you? Okay, here you are.
Stop bullying me! Let me jump around like a madman, like I'm supposed to be! I'm meant to be cool and scary! Not just ragdolling all over the place!
That was easy. I think Matriarch Venezia gave me more trouble than that.
Its shields are down. Now's our chance.
Get it with everything we got.
Hard on my flank. We're going in.
Oh, straight through the middle of it.
Go! Captain Anderson, we found him. They're in here.
Take it easy. It's over. You're safe now. Where's the commander?
Now that was a good time for the orchestra to start pumping out.
Yes,
We
yes
got
it
your message,
was.
Ambassador. What's all this about?
No need to get worked up, Captain. I'd like to end this meeting with all my teeth still in place.
You should thank me for what I did. If the Normandy was still grounded, we'd all be dead right now.
I understand, Captain. You did what you had to do. That's not why you're here. We need to talk about what happened to the Council.
Commander Shepard did the right thing. We had to hold our fleet back to go after Sovereign. It was the only way.
I agree, but this also presents us with an opportunity. The Citadel fleets were decimated in the attack. Their losses have made the Alliance stronger. They can't rebuild without us. We need to take the lead in forming a new council, one with a human chairman at its head.
No. We were not here first, and this is a galactic community. We are not usurping power, you ass.
This wasn't some plan
We should
for
at
the
least
Alliance
be
to seize
on the
power.
council.
Forcing the other races to accept our leadership is going to cause problems.
The other species are scared. They've never faced anything like this before. They don't know what to do. They want us to step forward. They believe in us because of you, Shepard. You saved the galaxy from Sovereign. You're a symbol of everything good about humanity. Our courage, our strength.
The Ambassador's right. The other races look up to us now. They won't just accept our leadership. They'll welcome it.
Given everything you've done, Commander, the Alliance will want to know who you think our Council Chairman should be.
Not you, bitch.
We're about to go to war. We need someone with military experience. Someone like Captain Anderson.
Does anyone ever actually pick Udina?
Captain, are you ready for this?
I like how Udina's actually like, you know what? I understand that. That makes sense. I'm fair with this.
So what happens now?
The Reapers are still out there. They're coming. And I'm gonna find some way to stop them.
Shepard's right. We're headed for war with the Reapers. If we lose, it's the end of all life as we know it. We have to show the rest of the galaxy what it takes to survive. With the support of the other races, we can win this battle. With them behind us, we can stand against the Reapers' return and drive them back into dark space.
Alright, we'll take a look at the credits properly when we go through it again.
Fair. I'd like to take a moment to actually say just how, in concept, cool the Reapers actually are.
Yeah.
Like, because robots themselves are comprehensible. They're fine. We understand what they are. But the Reapers are robots so old that they've become eldritch and incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Like, the entire idea of something understandable and comprehensible, which then becomes so incomprehensible because of its age.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting to think about it. Just like... anything that's that old has had so many experiences as well. Like, something that's interesting that comes up in fantasy as well, like in games like Fire Emblem. There was a Fire Emblem guide that has you face off against the final boss being, I think the god's name was No, that's not right. What was his name again? It's one of the two gods between Milla and whoever her brother is. And both of them went increasingly insane over time as the generations passed because they were just so damn old that their mental state was deteriorating from just not being dead already. Like, I guess there's like a limit to how long you can be alive for until eventually it's like, you gotta give up the ghost. Am I making sense?
No, that makes perfect sense, honestly, because...
if you've been around for that long, everything is gonna bore you to death. Because once you've experienced everything, what else is there left to do, you know?
That actually reminds me of a character in my D&D world who is a giant ancient being, but he is also one of the most narcissistic people in existence. So he has been around, he does anything and everything solely for the sake of a little bit of pleasure and entertainment. Like, before he became like this, it was literally just like, he's constantly drinking, constantly partying, constantly just doing gambling and stuff like that. Now he's reached the point where human lives or people's lives are nothing but pieces in a chess game to entertain him.
Is this the casino owner one you told me about before?
No, this is a different one. The casino owner is nowhere near this bad. In fact, the two of them actually don't like each other.
I see.
No, this guy is technically potentially one of the worst people you could meet. Potentially. He could also just be completely benign when you meet him, but he could also be the case that you're his next entertainment. You don't know until you see him.
Yeah.
But also, it could be a case of you're his entertainment, but he's not inherently antagonistic about it either. Like, because the character will set rules, and he will obey the rules, because without the rules, he could just overpower them, and then it's no fun. He has to set the rules to limit himself in order to make it somewhat entertaining and a challenge for himself. You know?
Yeah. Kind of like how some people add self-imposed challenges to games that they've already beaten a million times, like the wrench-only challenge in Ratchet & Clank.
Exactly. Or like me playing Minecraft, where I just add to so many more survival conditions, like thirst, temperature, insanity, etc. Just the concept of age becoming eldritch is an interesting foot to play out.
Yeah.
And you just accumulate, but also the idea of memories aren't perfect. Even at our age, we don't even remember half the crap that we've experienced like 10 years ago. So it really comes to the conclusion, if they're that old and they know so much, how much have they forgotten?
Yeah.
And how much of themselves, original self, have they forgotten in the process of that forgetting?
I think the common sentiment is that everyone changes heavily within the time span of at least 2 years. Right?
That, honestly. 2 years doesn't seem that much, but I could believe 2 years, honestly. But hell, you can't say 2 years, Rookie.
Why?
Because now you're making an argument for why Liara managed to become a shadow broker.
Dude, don't say that. If it didn't happen on screen, it doesn't freaking count. We've been over this.
Oh, it was 2 years. That was 2 years. We heavily changed people in 2 years. You said it yourself.
Okay. You really think that she's gonna be able to have the social experience necessary to get the job by that point? Do you really think she's gonna get that job within 2 years? Do you think she's actually gonna get the social experience needed to do that?
No, but
Exactly.
It's still hilarious. It's still hilarious that you said it's 2 years, and then it's just like, oh well, now there's an argument for why Liara managed to do it.
When it comes to creative writing, just because a character can be different within a time span of 2 years, doesn't mean you should do that entirely off-screen. If the character changes, you need to make sure they change over the course of the adventure. Otherwise, people will not buy it and they'll call foul because the character is different from how they were before out of absolutely freaking nowhere. If you showed me Liara changing over the course of those 2 years, or changing enough over the course of this adventure for me to buy that she changed over the course of the next 2 years, then I wouldn't be complaining. But that's not what happens. So, I give crap towards the writing because we wound up with Liara going full-on Shadow Broker, completely off-screen, for no reason. And if I remember correctly, the comics did not help anything, because there are comics from Mass Effect that bridge some of these gaps. Liara was already acting ruthless at the beginning of the comic before the 2 years even happened. So even the comics don't help out with that. In fact, some people say that makes it worse.
Oh, I don't deny it. I just find it hilarious that the argument is kind of like, oh, now there's an argument for it, you know? Kind of thing.
Indeed, but there's nuance to the argument that means that I still have a point, even in spite of that. Just because people change drastically over the course of 2 years doesn't mean it should mean Liara changing to a completely different person off screen is still okay. Alright. Shall we continue?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see this cutscene now.
You can fight this.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there is still a chance the implants. Sovereign is too strong. I'm sorry. It is too late for me.
It's not over yet. You can still redeem yourself.
Goodbye, Shepard. Thank you.
And we got a crap ton of Paragon for that.
Not that you need it anymore.
Yeah, like how high is my Paragon stat? It's completely maxed. But yeah, I like that version of the cutscene a lot more, since that makes Saren's death come across as a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reasoned, tolerable.
No, it's like tragic. It comes across as a lot more tragic because he finally realized that he was in the wrong, and the only way he can possibly hope to redeem the situation by that point is to shoot himself.
Yeah.
As much of a dick as he was, he still didn't deserve to get indoctrinated like that.
Quick, open the station's arms. Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down before
See if you can open a communications channel.
Normandy to the Citadel. Normandy to the...
I'm here, Jeff.
We can see...
Huge sacrifice. That's why
What's
you
the
can't.
order, Commander? Come in now to save the Ascension, or hold back?
Opening the relays now, Joker. We need to save the Ascension, no matter what the cost.
I hope the Council appreciates this.
Alliance ships, move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
Commander, we're picking up reinforcements. It's the Alliance. Thank the goddess.
Destiny Ascension, you are all clear. Repeat, you are all clear.
The Citadel's opening. All ships move in. Concentrate on Sovereign.
Make sure he's dead.
That was a bit brutal, Shepard.
Yeah. I mean, they said that... He said that before in the other cutscene, but it feels more brutal here.
He's dead.
I don't think he's dead. Just a hunch, you know?
Okay, so speaking of self-imposed challenges, I think now might be a good time for me to...
Not bully the poor bastard?
Let's change squad power usage to defense only. Oh, apply.
And this station is mine.
Alright, so this time we're going to avoid using throw and lift, specifically because I want to actually experience the fight this time.
I want to understand why people find this boss difficult.
I mean, it's not, but still. I just don't want him dead in 5 seconds.
I mean, he wasn't exactly dead in 5 seconds. He just didn't let him do anything.
Oh, whoops. Up. So this is basically like... Did he fall off the ceiling? So this is basically the boss form of a Geth Sapper.
Interesting how this cutscene's the exact same, despite the fact the amount of forces that you lost during the initial fight.
Yeah.
Negative. This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
I can't hit him very well. Dang, that almost killed me, actually.
Oh no, he's actually a threat when you decide not to cheese him.
Oops.
How dare he?
Got him.
And disintegrate. You know, I also have to appreciate any game where you can just convince the final boss to shoot themselves. They just don't have that anymore. Man, I really need to play Arcanum. Because I know you can end Arcanum like that.
Get it with everything we got.
Hard on my flank. We're going in.
Alright, so this cutscene plays out pretty much exactly the same. Let's speed it up and hope that the sound doesn't screw itself too bad.
Where's the commander?
And Shepard walks out like a triumphant hero.
Ambassador, Captain, Commander Shepard. We have gathered here to recognize the enormous contributions of the Alliance forces in the war against Sovereign and the Geth.
Many humans lost their lives in the battle to save the Citadel. Brave and courageous soldiers who willingly gave their lives so that we, the Council, might live.
There is no greater sacrifice, and we share your grief over the tragic loss of so many noble men and women.
The Council also owes you a great personal debt, Commander, one we can never repay. You saved not just our lives, but the lives of billions from Sovereign and the Reapers.
Commander Shepard, your heroic and selfless actions serve as a symbol of everything humanity and the Alliance stand for.
And though we cannot bring back those valiant soldiers who gave their lives to save ours, we can honor their memories through our actions.
Humanity has shown it is ready to stand as a defender and protector of the galaxy. You have proved you are worthy to join our ranks and serve beside us on the Citadel Council.
Counselor, on behalf of humanity and the Alliance, we thank you for this prestigious honor and humbly accept.
We will need a list of potential candidates to fill humanity's seat on the Council.
Given all that has happened, I am sure your recommendation will carry a great deal of weight, Commander. Do you support any particular candidate?
We need someone with the courage to stand up for what he believes in. Someone like Captain Anderson.
Him? You must be joking. Anderson prefers to let his fists do the talking.
Only with you, Ambassador. Only with you.
Are you sure about this, Commander? The captain's a soldier, not a politician.
We've already got too many politicians on the Citadel. The captain would be perfect for this job.
I think it's an inspired choice. The Council would welcome him with open arms, should he accept.
I'm honored, Counselor. As humanity's representative, I'll do everything in my power to help the Council rebuild.
Sovereign's defeat marks the beginning of a new era for both humanity and the Council.
Sovereign was only a vanguard. The Reaper fleet is still coming. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. And I'm gonna find some way to stop them.
And there's no response from the Council whatsoever.
Shepard's right. Humanity is ready to do its part. United with the rest of the Council, we have the strength to overcome any challenge. When the Reapers come, we must stand side by side. We must fight against them as one. And together, we will drive them back into dark space.
I'm not sure which ending I prefer, with, whether the Council being alive or not.
I always save the Council, but I do wish that the Council and just the system in general wasn't so incompetent by the time that we get to 2 and 3, to the point that they just don't do anything.
Also, they weren't such pretentious arseholes.
Yeah.
Like, I know a pretentious arsehole. I am one. But, come on.
So, that was Mass Effect 1.
Ooh. Interesting music.
So, what was the highlight of the game for you?
Oh, that's a good one.
if I didn't have the speed up thing, the low would definitely be all the planet traversal, because that would have taken forever.
Well, they had to pad out the gameplay of the time of the gameplay somehow, you know?
Yeah, I suppose, but that's usually one of the worst ways to do it, because that makes people very, very bored.
Well, okay.
Having a big open world isn't bad as long as you fill it with stuff to do.
It's also not as bad if you make it so there's something nice to look at.
Unfortunately, it's kind of a case of not that, since everything is just a bunch of... Every planet is one big terrain with random mountains and generic textures.
Yeah, it is. I don't deny that. It's not the most interesting to look at. It could have been better if they'd done things like, I just added foliage, like trees.
Yeah, I feel like look up Andromeda's planets, because traversal in Andromeda is way more interesting to me, because the planets are actually interesting to look at. Like, it's actually...
you gotta remember the difference in engine capabilities and, like, what was available at the time. Like, dear God, when did Mass Effect 1 even come out?
2007. That would have been
honestly.
That would have been 18 years ago.
God damn. Yeah, no wonder then. Yeah, when it comes to that, you just gotta think. There was a lot of difference between, like, what could run in those sorts of times, you know?
Yeah. Then again, when did Skyrim come out? I know that was PS3 era as well.
Which one?
I said Skyrim.
Yeah, which release of it?
The PS3 version, I guess, because that's the one I played. It's still a big open world, with lots of crap in it.
Fuck?
What's up? Wait, Fred Tatasciore? Wambus Troubleham is Saren Arterius? What? When did that happen?
Wait, what?
Fred Tatasciore, that's the name of who voiced Saren. That's the voice of Wambus Troubleham.
Oh gosh.
Oh great, we killed Wambus.
Oh no, we got so many... Oh no, Ruki's been inspired to make more jokes. No! Hold yourself back, man!
Don't worry, I'm not gonna have Saren make out with a cactus. We're not gonna go that far.
Not everything has to be Mustang!
Look, somehow I expected you to say Marge jokes there. Because the alternative could have gone way dumber, let's be honest.
Oh god. Hey, we know you're a recovering addict of Marge jokes. I'm trying not to, remind you of those.
Moving forward. Anyway, so back to Skyrim.
2011.
Ah, so that would have been 4 years later. Maybe things would have changed a bit by that point.
Technology is exponential, which means that the technology in 5 years will be significantly more powerful than it is today.
Yeah.
So, although I won't lie, I enjoyed the techno music of this.
Yeah. This game's got a lot of good techno tracks.
It really kind of just helps emphasize the entire, hey, we're sci-fi here kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah. techno and synth tend to lean better towards techno and futuristic vibes, which is why I'm not super keen on some of the tracks we get from later games, like Mass Effect 2 and 3, where they keep using trumpets and orchestral tracks for just about everything. Unless it's a returning track from the first game. You were saying?
I was gonna say, when was Halo released? They might have been trying to just emphasize some of those tracks.
I don't know when Halo released.
First Halo was 2001, Halo 3 is 2007.
Huh. Hey, you want to know something else that's funny related to Bug Snacks?
What's that?
So, Mass Effect Andromeda, the female protagonist that you can pick, Sarah Ryder, she is voiced by Frida Wolf, also known as Eggabell.
We're never escaping this, are we?
Bugsnax has had a lot of professional voice actors that are in the industry. Like Sam Riegel, voice of Teddy in Persona 4, that's Gramble.
One day I might be able to stand amongst them.
Looks like the credits are over, I think.
Indeed. Shame. I need to look up that song. That wasn't bad.
Mass Effect 1 credit song.
Back when BioWare had a chance.
It still amuses me that my very first BioWare game wound up being Sonic. How did that happen?
It was what?
Sonic. Sonic Chronicles on the DS. I think I told you this before.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know. It's very, very weird. If there's any theme in Mass Effect that I would say defines Mass Effect 1, it would be the theme we're listening to right now, which I think this is called Vigil's theme. Like,
in other words, the main menu.
Yeah, but this is also the theme that plays when you talk with the Prothean AI on Ilos. Like, this feels like a theme of curiosity, discovery, and adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's always so many ways to do sci-fi, and whether it's just like the big galactic war between everything using big sci-fi weaponry, the political intrigue between millions of different species and how they all interact with each other both politically and culturally, and then there's also the idea of the discovery side of things, exploring the great unknown.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I find the exploration and the political side of things a lot more interesting from a personal point of view. I love the it's why I like world building. I love the concept of creating the sociology of species.
Yeah. Even in Mass Effect, the parts that I found the most interesting is the other species and how they all interact with each other, by comparison to everyone blowing the shit out of each other with shotguns. That part's not the interesting part to me.
I'll admit they expand on that quite a fair bit in 2, at least?
You mean blowing the shit out of each other with shotguns? Because yes, definitely, by that point.
No, I meant the actual exploring different species, because because in this game, I don't even think there's a mention of Batarians, is there?
There was when we talked with Captain Anderson about it at the beginning. You actually get to meet Batarians if you do the Bring Down the Sky DLC, but I don't have that installed, so I wasn't able to show you that.
So, but they go into the more cultural side of things of Batarians in the second game, as well as Vulture.
Vulture don't even exist in this game. They wind up...
Exactly.
Actually, neither do the Drell. I think the Drell were... But the Drell are an interesting case, because those were specifically made for Thane's existence to appeal to women. That was a fan service race meant for women.
But also, by creating the Drell, we also explored more in the Hanar.
Yes.
What other species were introduced in the second game? I know the Vulture were basically considered space cockroaches.
Space cockroaches that can use pistols, at the very least.
And are completely disposable and, you know, just have no value in their lives. Which, to be fair, considering they only lived 20 years as well.
Hmm. Wow, do they have an even shorter lifespan than the Solarians?
Yes.
Wow. How sad.
Yeah, Vulture only live for about, I think, 20 Earth years.
Hmm.
They are not a long-lived species.
I'm gonna load this up real quick, and I'm going to pull up the Codex. Because I know that the Codex tends to have a lot of interesting information in it.
The Asari were the first species to discover the Citadel. When the Solarians arrived, it was the Asari who proposed the establishment of the Citadel Council to maintain peace throughout the galaxy.
Solarians were second, were they? I didn't know that.
As the mediators and centrists of the Council. An all-female race, the Asari reproduce through a form of parthenogenesis. They can attune their nervous system to that of another individual of any gender and of any species to reproduce. This capability has led to the unseemly and inaccurate rumors about Asari promiscuity. Asari can live for over 1,000 years, passing through 3 stages of life. In the maiden stage, they wander restlessly, seeking new knowledge and experience. When the matron stage begins, they meld with interesting partners to produce their offspring. This ends when they reach the matriarch stage, where they assume the roles of leaders and counselors. The second species to join the Citadel, the Solarians, are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. Solarians think fast, talk fast, and move fast. To Solarians, other species seem sluggish and dull-witted. Unfortunately, their metabolic speed leaves them with a relatively short lifespan. Solarians over the age of 40 are a rarity. The Solarians were responsible for advancing the development of the primitive Krogan species to use as soldiers during the Rachni Wars. They were also behind the creation of the genophage bioweapon the Turians used to quell the Krogan rebellions several centuries later. Solarians are known for their observational capability and non-linear thinking. This manifests as an aptitude for research and espionage. They are constantly experimenting and inventing, and it is generally accepted that they always know more than they are letting on.
So basically, this is the spy race.
I heard them as the research scientist race, honestly.
The research...
Both are true.
Yep.
Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, The Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
Okay, I like that, because that kind of, like, the fact they basically explain that the Turians have become dependent on the other two kind of emphasizes how the Asari managed to worm their way into everyone else's so that they seem more competent and needed than they actually are.
Asari do have natural biotics, and they do live practically forever. So they do have some advantages there. It's just that the way that things are handled. Yeah. Although the fact that the Turians are reliant on the other two kind of makes it seem like if the other two die off, how are the Turians going to make it? Because after all, if you grow over-dependent on something, you grow complacent, and then you can't take care of yourself. You know what I mean?
I think they would enter a dark age for a while, where they definitely would try to basically rediscover technology which they have no idea how to create, so to speak.
Yeah.
50,000 years ago, the Protheans were the only spacefaring species in the galaxy. They vanished in a swift galactic extinction. Only the legacy of their empire remains. They are believed to have built the mass relays and the Citadel, which have allowed numerous species to explore and expand throughout the galaxy. Prothean ruins are found on worlds across the galaxy. While surprisingly intact for their age, functioning examples of Prothean paleotechnology are rare. Time and generations of looters have picked their dead cities and derelict stations clean. Some believe the Protheans meddled in the evolution of younger races. The Hanar homeworld of Kaje, for example, shows clear evidence of former Prothean occupation. The presence of a former Prothean observation post on Mars has caused a rebirth of interventionary evolutionists among humans. These individuals believe the god myths of ancient civilizations are misremembered encounters with aliens.
Okay, so that's why Mars was important in Mass Effect 3. There was a Prothean observation post on Mars. I did not know that. That felt like it came out of nowhere when Mass Effect 3 happened. Because why the hell is Liara on Mars? I guess that was the reason, and it wasn't immediately obvious. Maybe they said it out loud.
The Rachni once threatened every species in Citadel space. Over 2,000 years ago, explorers foolishly opened a mass relay to a previously unknown system and encountered something never seen before or since. A species of spacefaring insects guided by a hive mind intelligence. Unfortunately, the Rachni were not peaceful, and the galaxy was plunged into a series of conflicts known as the Rachni Wars. Attempts to negotiate were futile, as it was impossible to make contact with the hive queens that guided the race from beneath the surface of their toxic home world. The emergence of the Krogan ended the Rachni Wars. Bred to survive the harshest environments, the Krogan were able to strike at the queens in their lairs and reclaim conquered Council worlds. But when Krogan fleets pressed them back to their homeworld, the Rachni refused to surrender, and the Krogan eradicated them from the galaxy. In the early 2160s, the Alliance began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skyllian Verge, much to the dismay of the Batarians, who had been developing the region for several decades. In 2171, the Batarians petitioned the Council to declare the Verge a zone of Batarian interest. The Council refused, however, declaring unsettled worlds in the region open to human colonization. In protest, the Batarians closed their Citadel embassy and severed official diplomatic relations with the Council, effectively becoming a rogue state. They instigated a proxy war in the Verge by funneling money and weapons to criminal organizations, urging them to strike at human colonies. Hostilities peaked with the Skillian Blitz of 2176, an attack on the human capital of Elysium by Batarian-funded pirates and slavers. In 2178, the Alliance retaliated with a crushing assault on the moon of Torfin, long used as a staging base by Batarian-backed criminals. In the aftermath, the Batarians retreated into their own systems and are now rarely seen in Citadel space.
They had an embassy on the Citadel at one point?
Yeah, they weren't initially hostile. Let me see that again.
The bottom one?
No, back to the top, sorry. Okay. I was just thinking then, did the Batarians emerge after the humans? From the initial way it said then? But no, they had emerged, they were existing before. Maybe not for very long before, but they definitely were in the place beforehand.
Either way, if we go over everything here, this will probably take forever. But there's definitely a lot here if you want to look at it at some point, if you get the game yourself.
Well, what other whatchamacallit species did it say? Wow, go into that secondary again for a second. And open, like, council rate. Wow, it goes into deep detail about each part, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That. I really like that.
Yeah, so apparently the Asari Huntresses have existed as early as Mass Effect 1, we just don't hear about them until like Mass Effect 3 or 4. Well, they even go over religion.
I like the fact there's a religion. Because just because you enter the whatchamacallit sci-fi age doesn't innately mean you're going to stop being religious, you know? And religion doesn't necessarily even in turn that, you know, god worship or not, whatnot. It could just be deep culture.
Hmm. This one I definitely remember.
Oh, what's this?
The greatest asset of the Quarians is their rarefied skills. Most are experienced miners due to their life of perpetual salvage and repair. They are skilled engineers and technicians. More than once, the very corporations that lobby against the Quarians have made backroom deals with the fleet, arranging for skilled Quarians to fill space engineering jobs that other species would demand higher wages for. Quarians are widely hated among the working classes. The Quarians are coming to take our jobs as a common response to the fleet's approach.
Oh god, what's wrong with me? Why did that thought come into my head right then? As much as I don't want to say this, so the Quarians are the Mexicans, right?
Yeah, I thought that's where I think our brains went to the exact same point because that's usually where that sentence is meant for. The foreigners are coming to take our jobs is usually pretty commonly said about Mexicans around here. Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that one. Like, isn't that, like, common?
It is in America, which is what I'm basing it on. It's got no power here in England.
Yeah.
We have our own issues with that sort of thing. And oh boy, are our issues kind of prolific at the moment.
Yeah. Alright, so that was Mass Effect 1. So, anything else that we want to say before we hit the ending of the recording? Because I doubt anyone's going to want to watch us go over a bunch of random codecs.
I was about to say, if you're keeping all this in, I'm not sure how much people have even stayed at this point.
Probably. I might keep in at least some of that. Should I keep in the Mexican joke?
Yeah, maybe the Mexican joke if you want. Depends what kind of comedy you're after.
Either way, the fact that there's so much of this information makes it just feel like Mass Effect is just waiting to be turned into a proper tabletop. You know?
Honestly, I look at this and think they had so much passion when making this game originally.
Yeah.
And all you can think is, what the hell happened?
Yeah. I don't like dissing on Mass Effect 2 and 3 as much as I do, but I have to because you can feel something went wrong. Like, you can just feel something went wrong. Liara.
So much potential.
Oh, poor Liara, why did you have to turn into an edgy teenager in the middle of the series?
I mean, isn't she basically a teenager according to Quarian standards? Not Quarian, Asari standards.
Why do you think I don't want to make out with her? Didn't we have this discussion before where I said I didn't want to hook up with her because she was barely considered more than a child by Asari standards? I feel like we had this debate before.
I think that's a great question. How old is she legitimately according to Quarian standards? Because this is always the problem when it comes to other species. What is actually acceptable? And how old are they truly?
Yeah, like, making out with an elf, if you're a human, is going to be kind of awkward because the elf is going to live, like, 1,000,000 years longer than you will. Right?
Even more so if you're a species that lives even less than a human.
Like, that kind of thing winds up being an incredibly awkward can of worms.
Oh yeah, I've got no idea what else to say if you want to just cut things.
Alright. I'm gonna hit the stop recording button then, but before that, I assume you would prefer we do an outro.
Always do an outro. You have to be professional, man. To everyone watching, the only reason we have outros is because I forced Rookie to do them.
Yeah, because if he didn't force me to do them, we would not have outros.
Oh god, this is what I'm working with. Well, everyone, we do hope you have enjoyed this episode as well as this series as a whole. I know I've been enjoying watching Rookie play it.
Yay!
As well as just experience Mass Effect as a whole.
Yay, PFA has now experienced Mass Effect 1 in all of its awkward glory. In all of its very, very tedious glory. Because, let's be honest here, most of the side quests that we did was running around the Citadel, talking to people, and driving around on empty planets.
I mean, what else is there? That's what do you think side quests generally are?
People seem to view the loyalty missions of Mass Effect 2 as side quests, but I'm not sure if I'd call those side quests. Actually, I think we had that discussion before, too.
Yeah, no, the loyalty missions of Mass Effect 2 are actually pretty...
They're pretty damn important for side... They're pretty damn important for side quests. Like, you basically cannot survive the suicide mission if you don't do them. Technically, you don't have to recruit Tali, so recruiting Tali is considered a side quest if you look at it like that. Because you don't have to get her, Thane, or Samara.
Don't you?
No, you don't have to get any of them.
I did not know they were optional.
Yep. It's mandatory that you go off to recruit Garrus and the others, but you don't have to open up the Krogan pod to get Grunt, and you don't have to recruit Samara, Thane, or Tali. And you don't have to activate Legion either. Like, you don't... By that point, who all would even be on the squad besides Miranda and Jacob? You'd have Garrus, Morden, and Jack, I think.
I was just thinking, what is the least amount of characters you could interact with in this game, in the Mass Effect series? Like, if you went out of your way not to do any of the recruit anyone, what is the least amount of people you could interact with?
I think there's a picture of the Citadel DLC that shows the lowest amount of people you can have at the party. That's probably a good indication of just how low the number can get.
Okay, hold on.
If you compare it to the highest amount of people at the party, then it winds up just looking really sad. Alright, so I found two pictures. Let's compare them side by side.
Oh god, I just realized you can even get people killed off in the second game, so that lowers the amount even further.
Look at how sad this is.
How is Liara there?
Liara cannot
Liara die.
Liara is not a major character in Mass Effect 2, and she's important throughout the entirety of Mass Effect 3. You can't kill her off. Her, Edie, and Vega are the only three that make it to the end, no matter what you do. Garrus and Tali can both be dead at the end of Mass Effect 2. The Vermeer survivor can get killed in the standoff in the Citadel coup, and you don't have to get Javik. There's only 3 squad mates you're guaranteed to have in Mass Effect 3.
And you don't have to recruit Samara, Zed, Kazumi, Jacob's in 2. Anyone in 2 can just get killed off. God, it's the difference in the party. It's just hilariously small.
It's sad. It's sad is what I'd call it. It looks so sad.
Look at all the first one. I have friends. I have friends, I promise.
We have friends, and just 2 of them are a robot and a guy with broken bone syndrome about to get it on with each other. Which means that we're probably going to have one less person by the end of the night.
Make sure you, include this image in the video if you're going to do this conversation in there too.
Yeah.
God damn.
Also, what is Liara wearing, by the way? This is her Shadow Broker DLC outfit, and I never liked it. It just does not look good. Not to me.
In all fairness, what outfit it does look good in these games. All of them look a little bit weird, quite frankly, and a little bit.
A lot of them look sexualized, and the ones that don't look sexualized look really weird. Like they have too many belts or buttons on them.
And or just, like, too little as well. Like it's just a random-ass bodysuit of some sort.
Yeah, well, I think you're talking about Miranda, aren't you?
I wasn't, actually, but
Who are you
she's
talking?
an example.
Who are you talking about, then?
I mean, Ashley's the exact same.
Ashley in 3, yeah, her and that stupid blue thing.
Also Samara.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Quite frankly, Liara as well.
Yeah, her boobs are pretty noticeable.
Kazumi a bit.
I think when it comes to female character designs, the boobs are always wind up being way more noticeable than they should be. At least Jack is wearing a shirt this time.
I was going to say, frankly, the only one with any personality in their outfit, in my opinion, is, quite frankly, Jack.
Honestly, Jack has so many tattoos, I didn't notice at first when playing Mass Effect 2 that she was actually shirtless. She has that much ink on her, I thought she was wearing a shirt. I could not tell she was half naked.
That's the power of the ink.
Either way. I guess while we're on this picture, can I just say, I'm not so keen on Ashley's quote-unquote glow-up. I prefer her hair with the bun, and the white armor with the red just looks so much better on her than the blue. The blue looks right on Kaden, but not her. Like,
I can't say much. Miranda was my only casualty.
I was talking about Ashley.
Oh, Ashley, sorry.
Ashley is wearing the...
Miranda.
No. They do have the same hairstyle now, though, so that doesn't help anything. And they have skin-tight suits now, so that doesn't help either. But I meant Ashley with her blue skin-tight suit. The white heavy armor with the red on it, and the hair bun just looks so much better on Ashley than it did that she looks like right now in this picture. Is it just me?
I see what you mean.
Alright, any other comments that we want to make before we head off in relation to everyone's terrible fashion senses? Because let's be honest here, some of these outfits, oh my. Like, I'm trying not to make fun of Miranda and the fact that she's running around in heels and a skin-tight bodysuit, shooting people in the face, but also, like, firstly, what is that belt around her waist even for? Is that the holster?
Probably, honestly.
Secondly, why is she running around looking like a sexy space secretary?
If I said anything, it's probably, why does every Krogan feel the need to wear a hood?
I kind of made the assumption that the reason that the Krogan have armor like that is because there's more flesh behind it.
Oh, I assume it's because body shape-wise, they kind of, like, are built with a hump.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at them and put them down on all fours and make them like a lizard, it would just work perfectly for them, you know? Just because of the way they're naturally arched in terms of their spine.
If I remember Andromeda correctly, some of the random battle quotes that happen when playing as the Krogan mercenary, if you get shot at, he says cover your hump, so that makes sense. They probably do have humps under there.
Probably. It's honestly why I give full credit to Grunt, because he's like the one Krogan that doesn't have a hood of some sort. I think.
He's probably still on the young side to have a noticeable one, but I'm pretty sure he still has a similar body shape.
I think... Honestly, I'm of the opinion Grunt isn't entirely Krogan.
Because of the genetic augmentation by Warlord Okeer.
Yeah, and just look at him. He looks severely different from any other Krogan.
Well, first of all, is that he has a unique model. So, and Tali herself was given a unique model in this game as well. So I'm not too, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not too surprised that he has a different face model compared to other Krogan. As for him being not fully Krogan, I'm pretty sure it was a point of Okeer's research that Grunt was 100% pure Krogan. I think that's one of the few things that was outright stated by Okeer.
Maybe, but it certainly doesn't look it. Maybe that's just because we haven't seen, like, a Krogan more towards the infancy.
Yeah, that and same face syndrome, because, let's be honest, they use the same facial structure and texture for just about every alien. Unless it's like Asari. Asari are the exception because they're close enough to human looking for them to make different face shapes with them all the time.
That's always the problem when it comes to these sorts of games, when it comes to, like, fantasy and whatnot. The fact the alien species tend to always look very similar because of the amount of effort needed to just make them look different. On, like, the generic ones kind of view. Because the humans, the way you need to do it is you just need to make, like, the base model and then just make some very clear physical differences. But then again, it's also a plot point in Mass Effect. It's in Mass Effect 2 about, like, humans being so drastically different.
I know that. I know that. Aside from Asari, God, hold on. I know my brain was going somewhere, and I just had a fart moment in my brain.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, we've met a bunch of different Solarians, and I feel like as we went through, the face shapes of the Solarians was noticeably different by comparison to some of the other people we've seen. Like the facial structure. Let me see if I can... Okay, let me grab a couple of pictures to see if I can... You want to do the outro while we're doing this?
You want to do the outro?
Yeah, we probably should.
Probably. No. We've probably spent a bit too much time already on it.
Yeah, we probably bored everyone, because we were halfway through it, and then we sidetracked to the Citadel party gone horribly wrong.
Well, everyone, before we get sidetracked once again, we're going to do an actual outro this time. So, everyone, it looks like, we're all out of time, so what can we say other than thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this series as much as we've enjoyed playing it, but we're afraid that until next time, it's time for us to bid thee all
Farewell, good day, and finally, good night.
Good night. Oh, and if Rookie manages to edit these before certain times, I'm planning to be streaming again about, like, New Year's, and hopefully I'll be making videos by then, too. So if you somehow watch this, do enjoy me coming back to YouTube, baby. Hopefully, I'm gonna try.